3 to 30 seconds can change your life from 3 to 30 years. Like in 30 seconds or less, you could find yourself with a situation that'll land you in prison and you're doing anywhere from 3 to 30 years for the rest of your life for a 30-second decision or less, right? So I thought it was necessary to remind people the importance of thinking before you do something. It's so easy, and I always use this example. It's easy to get arrested.
Welcome to the Art of Rebounder, where setbacks become setups and your bounce back is your breakthrough. I'm your host, Harold Lefty Williams, former pro athlete, motivator, and believer in second chances. Each week, we'll dive deep into stories and strategies built on positioning, persistence, and purpose to help you reclaim, rebuild your next chapter. This isn't just a podcast. It's your permission to rise again, and this time with purpose. As promised, part 2, this man needs no introduction. Let's dive right into it. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me back.
Shabazz the OG.
Yes, sir.
My guy. Appreciate
Yes, sir.
you. Yeah. So let's dive into 3 to 30 seconds.
Okay.
Why was there a need for it? What's the tour about? And what are you looking to what are you hoping
Accomplish?
to accomplish?
3 to 30 seconds came about because I after being an impulsive person for so long myself, like being quick to react, I started to realize, like with everything that I do socially, on social media, interacting with people, I just really started to recognize and notice and recognize that a lot of situations that people find themselves in comes from impulse, reacting, and a lack of thinking. And typically, either the moment they do something, they regret it, or when the circumstance come, they regret it. And then when you look back and you calculate, this incident took place in less than a minute. So I started to think, I'm like, 3 to 30s, I don't know where it just came, but it's, and I started saying, like, 3 to 30 seconds can change your life from 3 to 30 years. Like, in 30 seconds or less, you could find yourself with a situation that'll land you in prison and you're doing anywhere from 3 to 30 years for the rest of your life for a 30-second decision or less, right? So I thought it was necessary to remind people the importance of thinking before you do something. It's so easy, and I always use this example. It's easy to get arrested. You do something, police on the scene, 10, 12 minutes. 5, 10 minutes later, you in handcuffs. 5, 10 minutes after that, you on your way to the precinct. So we still talking less than an hour, right? But even if you're going to get bail, depending on your circumstances and who you are, even if you get bail, it's still going to take you about 17 to 24 hours to do that. But it only took you an hour to get here. You understand what I'm saying? It's easy to get into. You know, you go to the hotel, you check in, you get them your debit card, they tell you they're going to take a hold for incidentals. They take that hold immediately. But what they tell you, you get it back in 3 to 5 business days.
Yeah.
They take no time to get it from you.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do everything. Undoing or returning is always a process.
Right.
Right? So 3 to 30 seconds of thinking is a preventative measure that I came up with. And then, as I spoke briefly about before, doing a 3 to 30 seconds live talk show in front of a studio audience on this tour that I'm putting together. You know, tour is called It's All About Us. And it's all about us. Us as a people. Globally. It's all about us. We control everything. Us, the people. when it comes to government, when it comes to, judiciaries and all of this stuff, the people forget their power. And how we conduct ourselves and how we treat one another plays a huge part in what goes on within the world structure and dynamic. So on the It's All About Us tour, featuring the 3 to 30 second live concept, it's a top talk show. It's about interacting and interviewing people, speaking to people, talking to people who are not necessarily celebrities. Because I will interview celebrity friends and people that I know. But I thought it was extremely important for me to take regular, everyday people who have stories and backgrounds, who are able to turn life around and be successful in whatever their sector is.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. But do that in front of a studio audience. Do that in front of people who can resonate and relate. And that person is sitting right there. Mm-hmm. And you could raise your hand from the audience and say, hey, can I ask this person a question? Because what that person went through and what somebody in the audience sitting and listening to mm-hmm. can be beneficial. I think a lot of times people have so much expectation and place so much responsibility on celebrities and people who are popular that they forget that other people that look like them get up and go to work every morning, a 9 to 5, 7 to 3:30, whatever it is, right. Just like them. Those people got great advice.
No, facts.
Those people have great life stories. Mm-hmm. You go on social media, the person that got 188,000 followers, say something versus the person that got 300 followers. The person that got 300 followers, nobody wants to listen to because you ain't got enough followers. But right. That person is the one with the more knowledge.
Right. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people who look up to celebrities and people of certain statures, a lot of people who do that don't realize that a lot of y'all are more morally sound than mm-hmm. them. Some of you are more intelligent than them. Mm-hmm. Some of you are better people. So my whole thing, Lefty, is to remind people, man, that you matter. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. The only thing that separates us as people, that could make you better than me better than you, anybody better than anybody, is character.
That's real. That's real. I saw a clip of you in the prison, and you were talking to some young boys. Mm-hmm. What was that like? How often do you do it? And how did it all turn out?
I do it every chance I get. It's not as often as I like, but I do it when I can. Mm-hmm. When I have those invitations, when the opportunities present themselves. Mm-hmm. And the experience is always the same for me. It's fulfilling, it's enriching, it's encouraging, and it's a reminder. Because when I was locked up, I absolutely hated it, right? Mm-hmm. And I know what these guys go through. I disconnected from, oh, you doing 2 years, you doing 20. No, y'all both in the same situation. Because on the wrong day, in the wrong situation, while you behind that wall, that 2 can turn into 20.
Yeah.
Right? So when I talk to these guys, I talk from a place of experience, I talk from a place of knowledge, and I talk from a place of compassion. Mm-hmm. Because I know what they go through. I know those lonely nights. I know those fetal positions at night. I know that crying in the shower, missing your mom, missing your girl, missing life, missing, your freedom, like guys go through that, and I think it's important that whoever it may be that goes to prisons and talk to these guys, I think the most effective people are the ones who actually experienced it.
Right.
Not, you Google some stats and you're talking at them and not to them, down on them and not with them. Like they're not going to receive that. Mm-hmm. I've never, thankfully, gone to any facility from juveniles to adults. I never went to speak to any group and I wasn't received. It's actually a lot of times, twice comes to mind when I spoke to juveniles in Baltimore and in St. Louis. Both times the administrators were really astounded and pleased with how I was able to keep their attention, because we talking ages 13 to 18, undivided attention.
Wow.
You know, because I'm talking their language. I'm not talking on their level, but I'm talking what they understand. Because I've been there. You know, I got my first time getting locked up, I was 13. That
Wow.
was my first time getting arrested. You know, my second time I was 18. And then after that, it was on and popping.
Wow.
You know, so I get it. I relate. So when the clip that you're talking about, one of those guys was 19. He was down for a body, and he was waiting to be sentenced. You know, and I just reminded him, like, our lives are our lives. Our decisions create circumstances, but as long as you're alive, you can right those wrongs, even if you have to do it in the prison. Because guess what? You may not ever go home from that situation, but somebody else that you interact with might.
That part.
And whatever you obtain in terms of knowledge and information can be shared with somebody else that they can take back to the street and apply. And that credit goes back to you and what you were able to attribute to them in their decision making.
What's this one thing that you can tell your younger self, 13 or 18, both of those situations where you said you got locked up? What information would you give your younger self?
The greatest thing that if I could redo in life, because I don't really want to take back much, because my experiences is what molded me and shaped me into who I am, and provides me affords me the luxury of being able to talk to other people and be a teacher of some sort, right? So it's not much that I would change, but if I could change some things and teach my younger self something, it would be about the system that we live under. I would teach myself about credit. I would teach myself about savings. I would teach myself about residual income. I would teach myself more about stabilizing your living arrangements and not just surviving, but living.
Right.
Creating an opportunity where you're living comfortably and your family is living comfortably, you know, from the fruits of your labor without having to have risk my life and freedom for money that didn't even pay off in the end. So if I had to change something about my journey, it would be how I would learn about the things that sustain us in terms of how we live.
Why do you think people in our culture want to run to entertainment, want to run to sports rather than run to being a lawyer, a doctor, or any of those things, or a plumber, electrician, or?
Well, two reasons. Sports and entertainment is what's put in our face, right? Put in our face. And for some reason, people think it's quick. It's like quick money. Like that's the way to become rich, is sports and entertainment. You know, and again, it's always in your face. It's promoted as the way out. You know, like even Biggie said in the song, you either slinging crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot. Like either you're selling drugs or you're playing ball. Like that's it. You ain't got no options. And so it's like this conditioning, not knowing that some people with regular careers or other types of careers, lawyers, doctors, engineers, they make more money than some of these athletes, some of these entertainers. You understand what I'm saying?
Because all the athletes not getting that kind of check.
No, everything that you see is not what it appears to be, and a lot of people don't understand that. But I also believe that our sports and entertainment is also pitched and promoted to our people more, because I believe it's another way to keep us out of those other doors.
Right. It is.
To keep us from being lawyers, keep us from being doctors and engineers, and like not knowing, like when you know our history, we are the most dynamic people in creation. That's just the truth. You know, like we've created some of the most valuable assets known to mankind. So as humans, as people, we just awesome. But a trick was played, a play was ran on us, and it worked.
Yeah.
And then, and unfortunately, it continues to work, not on all, but enough. So it's imperative, again, going back to 3 to 30 Seconds Live, it's imperative to have these kind of conversations about what else is available to us within our capabilities. Interacting with one another, having conversations, sharing information, exchanging ideas and perspective, encouraging one another. Like, yeah, you don't got to do that. You could do this. You know, the person in front of the camera is making a certain amount of money. But do you know how much the person behind the camera can make?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard the rapper. But do you know how much money the producer can make? You know, be comfortable with not being or not having to be the primary subject
That part.
visually. Because sometimes the person that you see visually is not the primary subject because they need so many other things to go
Right.
in order for them to matter.
Question. Do you think that the system would change? Would we say, like, in certain parts of the country, cannabis is legal? There's guys sitting in the penitentiary on some of those charges and just don't have the opportunity to rebound. They don't have that second chance. Do you think the system will have a chance to give them a chance for some of those older rules, for some of those guys to come home?
I mean, in some cases it does, but ultimately and overall, it just depends because, again, it's not a system that we run, that we operate. So it's just a matter of, it's unfortunate, but I just think it gets done by someone who's finding a personal benefit in doing it, whether they want recognition, whether they want praise, whether somebody offered them something.
Right.
Because if it was just a matter of let's just do the right thing, it'll be a no-brainer.
I ask some of those things because sometimes it's hard to get things reversed. I've got 2 cousins who were wrongfully convicted of a crime. They spent 34 years on death row. So if you look up, they were awarded the most amount of money in U.S. history, civil suit. They were awarded $75 million for wrongful, whatever. 2 brothers went in at the age of 15 and 16. They were sentenced to death row.
Right.
Their mother and my grandmother are sisters. Well, their mom have since passed on, but my grandmother is still with us. And I watch what it's done to them. I watch how every time their time would come up, would get the calls about their time. You need divine intervention, or that's to be followed through with, execution. And the time would come, and every single time something would come up, and they'd be saved by grace. Then the state of North Carolina put a pause on the death row things, and then gracefully, thankfully, in there because they were innocent. One never went to the party. The other one, it didn't. The person that came through, asked a question, convinced my great grandmother to let them take him for questioning, and you can meet him down at the station. By the time she got there, we got a confession, and that turned into 34 years of hell. One of them is in an institution, comes home sometime on weekends because of the things that he went through being in there.
Yeah.
At that young of an age.
Yeah, $75 million not going to change that
at all. It's just not.
It's certain situations money can't correct. Money can't undo the mental, right? The mental anguish. Money
Right.
can't undo that.
The PTSD,
Money
the dreams.
Like you can take some money and go shopping and get on your private jet and go to the islands and on the islands have a mental episode.
Yeah.
Because of what you like. The money is not an
Yeah.
escape, and that's one of them times where people have to understand, you know, money is necessary, and it's a huge part of problem solving and living. But some things, money just don't fix. And I don't know how you fix taking 40 years of somebody's life unjustifiably and holding them in prison.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you know, I'm looking at this and I'm really, what you're doing, not just for young people, older people, people in general, not just for all people, but particularly the people in our culture to have them wake up and understand and actually think. Take those 3 to 30 seconds.
I mean, it's just important. Life. I say this all the time, bro. Life is really not hard. It's really not hard. We make it difficult because we try to change things to suit us and pacify our wants and our desires. And that's when life starts to get tricky, when you can't, again, hold yourself accountable.
Is it ego?
Hugely. Ego plays a huge part in it because, again, ego really comes, ego is fueled by fear, in my opinion. Because you're afraid of, you know, you got to put this ego on because you can't let the real you show. You know, you got to act like this because you really that, you know? So it's like, if you say you believe in something, stand on that.
That part.
If you Christian, stand on that. You Jehovah's Witness, you Muslim, be that. Understand what comes with whatever choice that you made. If we're talking about religion, right? Religiously, whatever you believe in, stand on that, represent that, and be good at that, and own that, right? Whatever kind of person you claim to be that. But understand what comes with that. I'm Muslim. I'm not perfect, but I understand what a Muslim is supposed to do. I understand what a Muslim is supposed to be. So my responsibility is to try to meet those requirements as close to 100% as possible.
As I can. Yep.
Right? So even in chastising, even in criticizing, even in critiquing, you know, what I do online every day, I even had to learn to be mindful that even when I'm speaking about what someone else has done wrong, there's still a way for me to speak on it.
Right.
And especially when I'm talking to young guys in the street, my first responsibility is to remember you were once in the street.
Yeah.
So my dialogue is always a warning. It's a warning shot. 3 to 30 seconds is a warning. It's not a condemnation. It's not condemning. It's not judgmental, right? It's a warning, because I know what's going to happen if you don't think before you do something. I know what's going to happen.
Facts.
So this is a warning. When I'm telling you, you don't want to go to prison, when I'm telling you, figure out a way to get you some other money. Now, if you just happen to be one of those people, like some people that I've come across, I know guys who understand the ramifications of the street, know what come with it, and are comfortable doing it.
Right.
They ready. They not going to tell on nobody.
Right.
If it comes down to it, they got to go lay down. They gone. They're prepared to take what comes with it. But these are grown men.
Right.
Who've been down that road, understand what they know the guidelines if they get caught. They know what comes with the crime that they research. Like most of these young guys don't do that.
Right.
You don't really know what you're up against until it happens.
Until that door closed.
Right.
Once
and then when the judge looking at you and you got on a button-up shirt and it got 5 buttons on it, 7 buttons, and the judge take 5 and multiply by how many buttons on your shirt, and that's how much time they give you.
Then it's...
You faint.
Yeah. We got to leave it there for time's sake. I just want to say thank you so much for always being there for your boy, man. I appreciate that.
No question.
For sure. 3,000,000,000%. 3 to 30 Seconds tour coming to a city near you. Make sure that you follow the OG, Shabazz the OG.
Yes, sir.
On Twitter, on Instagram, and what's the website?
ShabazzTheOG.com.
ShabazzTheOG.com. Right now, there's the book out. What's the name of the book?
Flip Your Life.
Flip Your Life. You got to get that book. And then soon, there'll be merch. Like, you like that nice hat that he's got on, 3 to 30 Seconds. There'll be more merch available for you to purchase. I appreciate it. Man, I wanted to ask you who was the top 5, but I'm running out of time. Quickly, who's your top 3 people, most influential people in your life?
That I could just think of if I just go without just doing a bunch of thinking. My mother, an abundance of my friends and family, an abundance of family, and a lot of my friends. But really, just the first person came straight to my head right now is Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, shout out to Mac.
Because T Mac he's a principled guy. He stands for what I stand for, and he has mastered something that I've learned over a course of time, and he teaches it, he lives it, and that's patience.
And
Patience.
he said, what did he say when I talked to him? He said, "Nah, Shabazz my brother."
Yeah, that's my brother.
Yeah,
and that, he's younger than me, but he's extremely influential and part of my journey, and I love him, and he's a great guy, great friend, great brother, but he's definitely a staple.
Gotcha.
In my life personally, in addition to what we do, business wise or professionally, but just a great guy and extremely influential in who I am.
Bet. And you stand on business, which I love. I'm
2
talking
feet
about
and 10 toes.
2 feet. That's it. That's it for today's episode of The Art of Rebound. And remember, the fall is not what defines you. It's how you rise that writes your legacy. And OG is showing you that it's how you rise that writes your legacy. Whether you rebounding from a loss, recentering your purpose, or just learning how to stand again, know this, you are not alone. The OG just showed you that you're not alone. All right? He showed you that you were made for more. He showed you that you were built to bounce back. All right? Believe that. Until next time. Keep showing up. Keep positioning yourself. Keep pushing with purpose, because your rebound is not just coming, it's already in motion. All right? Find me on social media at The Art of Rebounding. And if you want to follow my personal page, it's at Lefty Williams 42. I'm always down to hear about your comebacks. Do not forget that a 3 to 30 second tour is coming your way shortly. And until next time, always remember, dare to dream.